Greetings, everybody. Some of you facing some circumstances that are causing you to be over anxious or worrying more than you should, or you're just fearing the worst, and the circumstance is such you're actually engaging with it to the point where you're not able to settle yourself before God to hear from Him, receive the strength that you need to deal with the circumstances and move on with what He's calling you to do right now in this time, then this is for you. So what I want you to do, first thing we're going to do is we're going to slow ourselves down, because one thing about the anxiety, worry, and fear, it does two things. It lowers your frequency, your vibrational frequency, which actually brings on or opens the door for more dysfunctional activities going on in your being, in your mind, in your body, and so forth. So we're going to slow that down. Okay, as we slow it down, we actually are increasing the vibrational frequency. I know it sounds a little contradictory, but that's actually what happens. When you're operating at a high frequency, you actually are more calmer, you're more content, and it's much easier to hear from the Lord, because this stuff, you've slowed the effects of the circumstances on you. Okay, so let's get ready to do this really quick. All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to get a place. I want you to identify one circumstance first. That's first and foremost, that's challenging you, that's disrupting your godly flow. Then I want you to slow down. You're going to sit somewhere, get somewhere seated. You've got this circumstance. You've identified it. You're going to now just sit somewhere. Hopefully it's quiet. If you have to get in your car, that's a good place to be. Okay, you can just get in the car, roll up the windows, and then just sit down. Okay, get comfortable, and then slow down your heart by breathing, inhaling through your nose, holding it for the count of 4, and then exhaling slowly to the count of 4. When you inhale and you hold it for 4 seconds, that's oxidating your body. So that's having a calming effect on your body. Okay? And so I want you to, this is actually being fruitful. Now we're going to go into what I'm calling the fruitful and multiplication stage. Okay, that's back in Genesis. I believe it was Genesis chapter 1, or it's Genesis chapter 2. I'm not sure of the exact one right now, but you're going to breathe in 4 seconds. You inhale through your nose. You fill up your stomach, and then it goes through it fills up your lungs. And you're saying, when you breathe in, you're saying Adonai, which is a Hebrew word for Lord. Then you're going to say the word Shalom. You say this in your head. You don't try to verbalize it while you're inhaling. But while you're inhaling in your mind, in your brain, in your heart, actually, really, it's in your heart. Make sure your heart is saying this. Adonai Shalom. Adonai Shalom. Every time you inhale, you say Adonai Shalom. Wait that count of 4, exhale. Okay? So you do this for about 5 times. Okay? Then you go to Galatians chapter 5. And you're going to look up the verses where it lists the fruits of the Spirit. Okay? You get that? And every time I give you something to do, you can pause the video. Pause this and then go to and get it and then come right back. All right. So you see the list of the fruits of the Spirit. So let's say the first one is love. Okay. Or let's go to one that says faith or patience or endurance. Pick any one of them. Okay. Then I want you to, with your eyes closed, I want you to face the circumstance and declare over it. Now you start your breathing again. You inhale in your heart and your mind. You're saying Adonai Shalom. You give it to the count of 4, holding the breath. You exhale. Look at the circumstance. And then you declare a fruit of the Spirit over it. Do this from your heart. Okay? Look at the circumstance again. And take another fruit of the Spirit. And you're speaking this over the circumstance. When you're doing that, you are literally taking the higher road. It's no longer face to face now. You're stepping over it and you're looking down at the circumstance. So you're positioning yourself in a more authoritative place over this circumstance, and you speak. Every time you inhale, you say Adonai Shalom. Hold it for 4 seconds. You see, as you exhale, you see the fruit, you see the circumstance, what you've named, and then you speak one of the fruits of the Spirit over it. Okay, and you declare that until you've at least gotten 4 of the fruits of the Spirit over it. And what you're doing, you're engaging covenant realities and placing them over the circumstance. This is actually, in the Old Testament, this is actually known as a covenantal covering or a huppah. Okay? You're putting this covering over the difficulty. And what that's going to do, as you're doing it from your heart, your body is going to respond and it's going to move away from the anxiety. In fact, it's actually going to manage your anxiety over concerning that circumstance. It's going to manage that worry over that circumstance. It's even, and if you'll do this, you keep working on it, you'll even be able to manage the fear of the circumstance. The fear of the circumstance, you're going to be able to manage that and put it in its proper place. And by doing so, you're now positioning your heart before God so that you can hear what He would say to you. And as you obey what He tells you, you will see over time this circumstance becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, until you have full victory over it. May God bless you as you do this. Keep doing it until you notice that it's not having the same effect over you that it used to have. God richly bless you.